Hey,
So easy.
One tidbit of advice, man, that I feel like I'm learning more and more about. Like, if y'all want to see like real change in your regions, your cities, your states, you know, even like just your local government, don't just vote for the president. You know, like go every 2 years, go every year, or like whatever it is, like whatever elections are coming up. Make sure you do your research, and like it doesn't matter what side you're on. Yeah, a lot of people complain about what happens every 4 years, but a lot of the changes that are implemented on a city and state level happen, you know, every year and every 2 years. So you see everyone turn up, you know, all the media goes crazy every 4 years, but I encourage y'all, if y'all want to see real change, do it more often than that.
Agreed.
Yeah, they have district meetings, they have like city council meetings. They have these like more often than we really realize.
Yeah.
And most of these things, people don't even show up. I went to this meeting downtown after work one day, and like it's this huge hall. I mean, City Hall. This is huge downtown San Antonio, and literally, like it wasn't filled up at all. And like they had the mayor, they had all his, you know, all the district leaders on the, you know, on the side of him and stuff like that. But there was nobody there, like listening in. It was all like people that, you know, go every single week and know about him and are listening to the announcements and stuff like that. But things get voted on there, and if nobody votes against them or for them, it's just whatever they want, they get.
There's what's the term? Uncontested? Is that the term that I'm thinking of? Where there's like a lot of people that will just run uncontested because they've just been there for like 32 years and no one's gone up against them because they don't think anything will change. Same with a lot of the issues like you talked about with education and childcare and healthcare and all this stuff. A lot of it just goes uncontested. Nothing's going to change until people actually, you know, do their part, their civic duty, as Arthur said, and, you know, do something about it.
That is one thing I need to get better at.
Me too.
But it's
100%.
also harder to follow just local politics in general. It's not as easy as, you know, if you want to follow national politics, it's all, you can go to basically any news source, turn on the TV, whatever, they're probably talking about it. But when it gets so local, as far as like what city you're in and even state politics, it's harder to follow. And I haven't really tried that hard, which I probably should, but there are, I think it's almost more important in a lot of ways to follow. I mean, this is literally the stuff that's going on in your own community.
Yeah.
I feel like there's usually too much of an emphasis on the national politics side of things, you know?
I mean, I think we're understanding more and more the power that, I mean, not even to keep talking about politics. Obviously, it's a big thing happening like today if you're listening to this, but like on the congressional level in the Senate, like so much happens there. Even if you no matter who the president is, so much can be either pushed through or held up at the congressional level. And so it's like, if anything, like you said, it might even be more important. I would have to agree with that, where, you know, that's really where a lot of the change happens, is kind of in that tier. And so, I'm trying. I mean, I said that tidbit of advice kind of from a place like speaking to myself too. Like I'm really wanting to dive into that more and not become obsessed with politics and not let it kind of run my everyday. That's not something I desire at all, but also be involved enough in my community that I genuinely care about, and my family that I genuinely care about, that I do what it takes to better what I would see as bettering their lives and bettering my life, you know?
100%.
Facts.
Big facts.
I would say that a lot of the policies that I've looked up locally, and even like the bigger ones, they're not as complicated as once you break them down and get all those fluff words out, they're not very complicated. And if somebody was like put in charge to take it out of like language and put it into like language, I feel like a lot more people would vote on them because they actually understand them.
Imagine this, probably the best idea I've ever had. What if and this probably, maybe this exists already and people do it, but if you were to somehow have some like unbiased person called an abbreviator, and this abbreviator, their sole job, they got paid $80,000 every year to just go through every bill that's being written, everything that's, you know, going through the Senate floor and all that stuff, and all like of the things that we're voting on at the city level, and like put it into like one page of like dumbed down. Do you want plastic bags or not? Boom. Like like dumb it down to the silliest level and like post it on some website. That'd be dope.
I'm already registering the abbreviator.org as we speak.
Dude, please. That's a great name, the abbreviator.
I kind of like that. Whatever that is, I want to do it because I want to be called.
Dude, that'd be kind of fun, right? Like, imagine like I'm trying to think of like the ability for you to take something that's incredibly complicated and communicate it in a way that people can genuinely understand and feel valued by their government, because we don't know what the hell's going on at any point. Like, dude, like they put these bills and it's like some tax bill that's going through and it's freaking 1,500 pages. They don't even know what they're voting on. And so if there was actually like some way that like, you know, I feel like I would feel more valued and more empowered in my vote and my decisions that I make, and not to skip through half the things at the ballot box. If I really was like, oh, I actually know what's going on. This is pretty dope. I feel empowered as a citizen to know, you know, to make an informed decision, not just based on the personalities of the people that are up there, so on and so on.
That's one thing that Andrew Yang was kind of pushing for, was a citizens portal.
Yes.
Where you can literally just log in, see all your, you know, tax information, all your, you know, whatever it is in regard to the government. And, you know, like a citizen portal where you can see all your information. Possibly, I mean, voting electronically is sketchy, but I think we could do it.
I think we could, dude.
But even just...
Only people with iPhones. Only people with iPhones can vote. Through their phone. Android people can freaking suck it.
God damn.
Bro, because you
We're
freaking
losing
got
listeners right now. We're losing Android listeners right now.
You got like Trojan viruses all over your damn phone. Freaking McAfee going on.
We're already suppressing voters.
Bro, I already saying pretty much if you... Well, because honestly, you only have an Android if you're broke. So like...
Oh my God.
Honestly, I'm kidding.
Those are the only votes we want. Those are the only votes we want.
No, there is some truth in that, though.
Trying to cut out the marginalized, bro. Like,
who would want an Android? I mean, the only Android phone I've considered is the Google Pixel, and that was before I hated Google. So now I hate Google.
And honestly, let's be honest, right? Just for the camera, right?
Yeah, the camera's fantastic, especially the night mode.
That's the only reason you'd get it. I mean, like, most people are like trying to switch an entire operating system.
Yeah. I mean, the big complaint against Apple is that everything's so locked in, you know? Like, everything's like Apple or nothing else. Mm-hmm. So I can see that. But
yeah,
still, it's not enough.
Apple users, you can vote from your device.
Yes.
With Citizen Portal coming soon.
Yo, hey, I had another brilliant idea. Honestly, I should probably like get into politics, because I'd probably change the world. You know what I'm saying?
You'd be really good at being a filibuster. Do you know what that is?
I like the name.
Yeah,
that's where you just like waste time.
Filibuster.
Yeah, you can just speak on a subject for 13, 14 hours just to try to get everybody to forget what you're talking about. Yeah, hold the floor.
Yeah. Oh, I could do that shit. I'd be switching to Kyle. I'd be like, honestly, guys, you fucking taxes are ridiculous. And honestly, I would just go ham. No, so imagine, like, Arthur, say the thing that you were saying again about like the portal. You were saying something about that, right? That Andrew Yang was advising, like where all your information.
A citizen portal where you can log in and handle all your information that you need to be handled.
I was trying to kind of remind myself of the point. Imagine this: if you have something like that, you already have all your information in there. Like you're already building off of your own profile, and you have some kind of a portal where it takes all of the candidates that are running, whether it's on a congressional level or presidential, whatever it may be. And it actually shows you, based on your information, based on, whatever different kinds of little things you can just input. Like, I make between $60,000 and $75,000 a year. I make whatever kind of data you would want to input. And it actually shows you how this candidate, based on the policies that they've uploaded, would affect your life. So like, boom, under Biden, you personally, based on your income this last year, you would pay this much in taxes. Right. This would affect you this much. This part of your whatever would change. That'd be kind of interesting. You can literally just go to a website or a portal and be like, hey, this is how the candidate would affect my life directly.
True. Yeah.
Because people get hyped over big issues, right?
Like general issues, yeah.
The hot topics, and you're like, well, shoot, like, not to get into any of the topics. So like, I don't want this certain thing to happen, but it doesn't affect me. Like, I also want what's best for my life and what is going to help move me forward. So hopefully I can help other people. But if you had a way to find out how someone would directly impact you. That'd be pretty dope.
And there are people who are kind of attempting to do this, like very unsuccessfully, in my opinion. Well, I shouldn't say that, but for example, Chris Evans, popular actor, he plays Captain America. He started an organization / website called A Starting Point, and it basically shows the issues, shows both sides and how they view it, what their solutions are proposing. So it's supposed to be unbiased, just a way to get all the information very candidly. And I mean, they just started, so I can't trash on it too much, but I don't know. Like, it just, I went to the website once and I was just like, okay, I kind of get what you're trying to do, but I'll probably never come back.
It's kind of like proof, though, and we see this all of the time in politics where, and I think it's actually kind of fun to talk about politics without having to talk about like issues or any disagreements. It's like just talking about the process, which I think is cool. And I wish more people would. Yeah. It's just how archaic a lot of the process is. It's like you're saying, it's like, okay, like it's a massive innovation to freaking have a website with information on it. Right. It's like, why is that why is that an innovation where like you can just find out what people believe? That's like groundbreaking these days. In 2020, we have freaking AI cars and we can't just find information on like, what a certain candidate stands for. And so like, I think there is a big market, to be had when it comes to innovating in the electoral process,
Yeah. Yeah, there's 100%. Also just making things more complicated can always introduce more complications, like
more
putting
areas
more
of
steps into there's more steps so somebody can alter it in a way that's disingenuous. And I think that's almost keeping it archaic is almost preventing that. But having to prevent that is keeping us from being like more informed than we really could be, or like, all this technology is allowing us to be, which is like, I see where you're coming from and with wanting that, but I'm like, man, what if somebody with the Facebook thing, like people, it's supposed to be a place where, it's not even supposed to be a place where we're supposed to get our political information, but we do.
You're supposed to keep up with your aunt.
Yeah, you're supposed to keep up with your family, your friends, but not, post all these wrong political things and
argue all day.
Just go down, argue about these dumb things and.
Bro.
Yeah.
Brilliant idea I just had. This is slightly off topic from what you just said.
Number 4 of the day.
Number 4. Hey, I'm honestly on a roll. For Android users, they can vote through bro, listen. Honestly, you don't want to hear this. Bro, for Apple users, you go into this like really high security app. It uses all of the features on your phone to secure, got 4 different passcodes, whatever. For Android users, they can just like vote through a pop-up ad. It's just like they'll be in the middle of just scrolling Instagram and boom, you want to vote? Yes, and like boom, there you go.
No, matter of fact,
you were gonna say a pigeon.
Just send an owl.
Pigeons.
Send your ballot with an owl, and
bro, they'll think it's a virus, and it's literally like their chance to do their duty right there.
Honestly, if we're getting nerdy here, if you really want to be as private as possible, you go with an Android phone and you like load your own operating system onto it.
Okay.
Because Apple is either their way or the highway, but with Android, there's way more customization that you can actually do.
But bro, their way is the highway, so.
Huh?
Their way is the highway. Like, I don't.
Whose way?
Apple.
That's what I'm saying. So if you really want like extreme privacy, you go with something that's not Apple.
Yeah. Okay.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, really?
Right,
what if like everyone just like went outside and just yelled who they wanted to vote for? And, like they do at concerts, so like who do, or like not concerts, like contests, like freaking random little like talent contests or something. Like, who do you think did better? Oh, I think this side was louder. And then they go to the other side. We could all just crowd the streets and yell out. Have some DB meter and be like, oh no, y'all really want Biden.
Do that by neighborhood and district, and then go from there, right?
You just test the decibel levels of each district, and we fire.
Here's my question.
Some people might even say that that's almost how the election goes.
It's pretty much about how it is. Whoever yells the loudest, right? Bro, we're about to change the game. Us three fools from San Antonio about to change the freaking electoral game.
Here is my question. Because there's always so much emphasis on the polls, right? Every election year. Who the hell's polling? And where are they polling? Who are they asking?
Bro.
And how? Because I've never been asked.
I've never been
and
asked.
I want to be asked. That's the thing. I want to.
Have they ever been right?
It's
That's
the
the thing.
people who go to those websites, whoever's taking the polls, it's the people who are going to those specific websites. So if those websites are for a certain person, then, a certain political party, then the people who are going to that website are obviously going to be like, okay, more people are voting for this person, and that's where the polls are coming from. Like,
Yeah.
you don't get asked when you're walking out of, the polling station, like, hey, who'd you vote for? We're going to use this on our, News 4 or whatever polling thing.
Right.
Which I kind of wish they would do that. Like, obviously, you keep it optional, but
what if everyone just lied?
that's true. Some people don't want to be honest.
That's the thing. Is
about
like polls. It's like, and it's also probably like with polls. It's like probably I think they have a minimum age of like 58.
I honestly, truly feel
like what freaking person is gonna just be like take some poll on the internet
that's what I'm saying.
or
Like,
wherever? Like,
if I get a piece of mail or even an email, whatever it is, I most likely will not do it unless
Yeah.
no, for sure.
unless it's like literally like I want the government to send me an email or something and be like, this is the official poll.
Right? Why is there
Here's-
40
we really
different
need
polls?
this. Like I don't know, man. I
Like,
don't know what
nowadays
the
you
best
get
way
official
to poll people are, but
Probably Instagram polls.
I don't know. The yelling thing was pretty good.
I think so. If we just all went outside and yelled,
it's a horrible
that's what
idea,
we're doing anyways, right? Just yelling at each other.
basically.
It's a thing to do nowadays. Just scream at each other. You're an idiot.
Yes.
You guys are a bunch of fool snizers.
Yo,
I wonder if you could. One thing is, like, if you could set up an arena, right, and based on however many people show up to that arena, that's how many votes is going to that person, because you can't fake people going to that arena, right? I've heard of like dead people voting.
Okay, well, I was gonna say,
somehow.
like, in the midst of COVID, bro, you would just like send them all out to an arena, and like whoever's got the most alive people at the end of 3 weeks wins. Okay. Yeah, like you're the most perseverant people, so you'll deserve this win. It's so
Okay,
that's
okay,
bad.
okay.
That's bad.